You're having a fantastic day. Welcome to my home, my living room in Jaffrey, New Hampshire. Let me start by saying happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, or whatever holiday you're celebrating. I hope you're having a fantastic and wonderful and safe holiday season this year. One of the members asked me to do a tutorial video on the spin that I did, the double saber spin that I did the other day. And so this is going to be my attempt at doing that. Before I begin, I want to really thank everyone who was supportive and encouraging of that video. It was fantastic. I really appreciate it. And Riley Cross, I apologize if I mispronounced your name, but thank you for coming up with the name for that, the Aetheric Flux. It's fantastic. So we'll get right into it. Talk about his stances. I think that they are critical to what we do with sabers or martial arts or anything of that nature. It ties everything together, helps tie the body movement, the body mechanics, and maximizes power and speed and all of that with stances. And really, for this technique, I'm using a horse stance, but you can also use a forward stance or a bow stance depending upon how you are utilizing your body mechanics. So for horse stance, feet are about shoulder width apart, knees are bent, back is straight, and that's pretty much it. And this way I can, kind of maximize the hip rotation and everything else. If I'm, I can vary that and go into a bow stance or a forward stance and shift between the stances from here to here. Here again, forward stance or that bow stance, whatever you prefer to call it, just shifting between one and the other. So either of those can be used, and it will change how you swing the sabers and flow with all that movement by how you utilize your stance. What I want to talk about is having a balanced saber. I think having a balanced saber is critical to this technique. So obviously with that we have the hilt and the blade. And this is a 24-inch blade. I prefer to use a 24-inch or a 26-inch blade for this technique for now. That's what's working for me for now. Obviously that can change, but right about there is the balance point with that. And that's fantastic. Like I said, that's what's working for me. And right now I'm not fastening these in, so I'm not going to move them around a lot. Here's the 32-inch, and my balance point is coming out right about somewhere in that area, which is fine for some techniques, but for what we're doing, it doesn't work great. It works, but it's not fantastic for me. So let me pop the 26-inch blade or 24-inch blade back in, and so that way we can kind of go over the body mechanics of this as I'm doing the spin. All right, so we're fastened in now, and we're going to power that on just because it's a lightsaber. So I'm in, a horse stance basically, and basically I'm just using my hips to do that pivot with, so I get that clearance. If I don't do that, it becomes really not a good, it doesn't work as well. So here again, I come in, I turn slightly at the hips, still staying in my horse stance. So now I'll demonstrate it with the 32-inch blade, and you can kind of see, you'll kind of see why I don't like it as much. But that there again, that's just me. All right, so the 32-inch blade, and I need to be careful because I have a coffee table right next to me, so I'm going to move over here. Now with this one, if I'm staying in that horse stance, it works, but not real well, especially if you hit the couch that's behind you. So I'm here. I'm actually better off shifting into that forward position, coming back, shifting into that forward position. So there's a lot more body rotation, which the good news is that I have the potential for doing a lot more force and speed with this. But the problem is that I'm not just coming here and going here. I'm having that second weapon coming across. So I'm having to shift into basically two forward positions to do that. Which means that I either need to move my body faster to make these transitions, or I need to either slow down my movement or put something else in to fill that gap from here to here. Talked about stances, body mechanics, balance sabers, and now we're ready to start actually doing the technique. So we're going to start with our dominant side. I have in my saber a 24-inch blade. And we're just going to break it down step by step, and we'll go from there. So have it on. And so the first part is just simple circle. Again, circle it up. Make a complete circle. Next part is circle and release the grip a little bit. So when I say I release the grip right there, that's all I'm doing, is I'm letting it just come out and fall behind. So again, 1, 2, all right? So circle in front, loosen the grip, let it fall back behind. And so that is, basically a technique all in itself. Now we're going to take it to the next step. So circle it down, release, come behind again. So circle it down, let it release, circle it behind again. So circle down, release, come behind, and as you can see, my hip's getting ready to slide out. And it just flows together because I'm using that balance saber. So ready again. So circle, drop behind, circle behind, slide out. Now before I go on, here again, I think I mentioned this before, if I don't move this hip, it makes this technique a lot more difficult because now I have to change the angle. And it just, stuff like that happens. So if I come this way and then here, now the other piece is that this motion, it's kind of like a wave. It's pulling back and dropping down. So that whole movement now gives you that force. Okay, if I do this without that, I don't get nearly the same force and speed that I do with that. So it adds more power to that because I'm utilizing the body to combine with the saber. So anyway, one more time. Forward spin, release, back spin, come through. And there we go. So on the other side, this is where it gets interesting because now I'm going the opposite way. So from here, I am releasing the grip to go circle behind to start. Like that. Now, release the grip, circle behind, and then come behind. So, release the grip, circle, circle. Again, release the grip, circle, and circle. Release the grip, circle, and circle. One more time, and then we'll go to the next piece. So circle, circle, slide. Circle, circle, slide. And it's really important that I'm not just practicing with one side, going one direction, but that I practice it from the other way too. So it's really just changing the starting point. So anyway, going back to this, coming around here. And as you can see, I'm not nearly as good with my left hand as with my right. So that's where practice comes in. We have done the saber movements independent of each other. We've done the right side and the left side. Now it's time to combine those, to put those together. I'm going to do my best to talk us through this. On this side I still have a 24-inch. On this side I have a 26-inch blade. So let's get it going. And so we're in a horse stance, and we're going to, the green is the one that starts coming in front, the white is the one that goes behind. So we do that circle, okay? Here again, that circle. And then from there, circle, circle. And as you can see, this is already starting to come through. So circle, circle. Circle, circle. And you can see how my hips are now pointed in that direction to help with this next part. So circle, circle, slide through, circle behind. All right? So circle, circle, slide through, circle behind. One more time. Circle, circle, slide through, and behind. And so now let's finish this up. So circle, circle, slide through, slide through. Circle, circle, slide through, slide through. And now we're just going to connect the dots, so to speak. And as you can see, my hips are pretty much staying in constant rotation. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And it's the hip movement that is helping to control and generate the speed. So one more time. So that concludes the tutorial on the Aetheric Flux, the double saber spin. I hope that you found it useful and helpful, and have a great day, and respect and honor, and may the force be with you.